Hello. Today is a recording of a warm-up sheet that I was working on for a commission, for a tattoo commission. You'll probably see that later on, but for now we're just looking at this. This is the process of how I eventually get to the commission, because all of this is not commission related at all. The client did not ask for a guy floating in midair with the mohawk and a weird face. But that's just what came out, so you just gotta roll with it. That's my creative process. And a lot of the times it's like shapes that just happen. Like the shape that I'm drawing out, I don't know what that shape is, but it is. It is a shape for sure. And then I turn it into a body. I get it makes sense how it's a body, I guess, but it didn't look like that at first. At first, it looked like a mushroom to me. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, this is just an insight into how I draw. I guess both mentally and literally, because you're seeing where I make my lines, what decisions I make when I draw, and you're also seeing deeper than that in the creative sense with how I get to the goal of commission. And you see that in a few episodes because it's like episodes long, but I think it's pretty insightful for anybody that's an artist or aspiring to be an artist, because we could all learn from the process of these things. And you'll see in a bit, or I guess throughout this entire episode, there's a theme with I guess you could call it my style. It's faces and it's bodies. And to be honest, I'm not sure why this is all that I draw. I think it has something to do with, at least I think, being more naturally oriented. I don't like things that are so rigid. Bodies are not rigid, so I like drawing them a lot because you can mess up. And I guess you can mess up with the building too. Leaning Tower of Pisa and all that, but I don't know, there's so much more character to something without a uniform shape. Like this body here, it might not be the best position that I just drew, but you could see what he's doing, what he's up to. You get the gist, you get the idea. But that's a common theme throughout my entire art career, you could say. You look at my old sketchbooks and it's all I've been drawing for the longest time. So, and I think it varies from person to person, because at a few college art get-togethers, not like portfolio days, there we go. At a few portfolio days, I was conversing with some students, and you see their portfolios, and it's so many different things. Like you'll see people just doing rigid things, or people just doing eyeballs, or people doing animals strictly. So it interests me a lot how some of us are more inclined to do certain things. And it might seem a little counterintuitive, I'm not sure if that's the word, but that I'm writing letters, which are, I guess letters don't have to be uniform or rigid, which is like a graffiti, That's how I kind of see letters, like typography. If you look in some digital pieces that I've done, it's a lot of writing and a lot of typography, and a lot of people like to call it doctor writing that I do, because, and I mean the writing that's in the background of some of the pictures, because you'll see it next to like a face or a body, but you can't really read it. Like I can read it. I don't know how I can read it, but I can read it, even though I write it really sloppily. But yeah, I think it's just, we all have our styles and our techniques and our certain things that we do, and I think it's just how much can you build that up? How many different things can you add that are unique to your style? And I think that's how I try to improve. And this way of thinking about it like this came to me from this book that I read called Skip College by Connor, I forget the last name. And basically he explains these two zones, the expert zone and the genius zone. You want the genius zone because that's what makes you more unique. but you have to use the expert zone to get there. Expert zone is essentially things that you are an expert at. So if you're an expert, let's say at writing, if you're an expert at drawing characters, and then you're an expert at color, you combine all three of those to create your genius zone. And that is essentially what makes you more unique as a person. You know, it's kind of, you could look at it like Kanye West. He was an expert at sampling, an expert at writing, for example, and this is what created his brand and his. People say, "Oh my gosh, he's a genius." You know, he had that documentary on Netflix called Genius. So, but yeah, that's how I came about this way of thinking, and I think it's a good way to look at it, because you always want to be improving. I think if you're not improving, you're getting less than, and that's not good. But anyways, you might be noticing a lot of a similar character in the background, and if you're keeping up with the podcast and all the content on the channel, we haven't gotten to the present moment yet. We're still going through like the history of the making of Azensali, but currently it's all about characters for me, all about character design, and that's why you see a lot of this similar type of guy. And obviously he's a clown. This idea is crazy, and when it comes to light, I think a lot of people will agree with me that it is crazy in a good way. It's crazy in a good way, right? But that's why you see them so much, because I'm just trying to practice them. And more recently, I've drawn pumpkins and Halloween guys, vampires. It's just a whole lot of character design. I think that's where I am as an artist, and I'm a character design kind of guy, because I can't do animation for the life of me. I've tried to animate these guys that you see, but oh my gosh, animators, you got to be crazy to be an animator. I'm not gonna lie, because that is some different type of work. That's true mastery of the pen and the pad. I couldn't do it. But yeah, so I think in the near future you'll be hearing more about the clowns and the other characters that I'm working on, and the world that I'm building, because it is a world that I'm building. It's not just like a few characters here and there. I'm talking like it's the whole thing, the whole shebang. So these past few months I've been really trying to get better with my positions. Like, you see this position right here? This is a position that I drew first around like 2 months ago. Something similar to it, where his back is arched and you can see like there's a lot of what is the word? He's contorted. I hope that's the word. He's contorted in a way that's like it's taking a lot of energy out of him. So I was drawing a lot of things like that. I don't know why I drew no. Maybe I didn't like it at this time. It's not the best, but it gets the point across. And I've been drawing these types of positions because I need to be able to visualize the characters. Because one thing I noticed building a world is that you need to be able to have a sense of progress and a sense of actualization when it comes to things. You need to solidify them. And I realized that if I can draw these characters doing things that I need them to be doing, it solidifies in my head that they're real, and then I can move on. But that's definitely a topic for another time, because that's a big topic. That's a huge thing. I think we should talk about hands after this waterfall behind me stops waterfalling, because just look at the hands. I mean, come on, guys. We need to work on some hands. It gets the point across, I guess. It's fine, but I don't know. Maybe I should just start drawing mittens instead. Mittens would probably do me better. But yeah, this page is a prime example of a warm-up page for me. It's kind of just like the flow of the ability. Like really, anything I want to draw, I just draw on this page just to get it started, just to get the pen flowing, the ink on the paper. And then after this page, then I can actually start working on the commission because, you know, I don't know. I can't tell you why, but that's just how it works for me. And you like right here, I'm kind of stumped. I didn't really know what to draw because I was kind of like, maybe I should work on the commission, but then there's a part of me that's like, nah, you got to finish the page. You have to fill up the entire page before you move on to the next one. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, let me know. I think I'm gonna do more of these because I think it gives a valuable insight. And I like to talk. Anybody that knows me knows I like to talk. So this gives me a reason to talk. And yeah, that's the video. So thank you for watching.